Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome to How to Connect to Goddess Ops. For the ancient Romans, Ops was literally the personification of the abstract idea or term abundance. She had one of the oldest shrines in ancient Rome and is believed to have originally been a Sabine goddess who was brought in by the Sabine tribes coming in and contributing to creating that city of Rome. She is a goddess that is associated with crops such as wheat and rye and barley, and specifically the sowing of those crops and the looking after of those seeds. She is often depicted on a throne holding ears of wheat. She can support you with connecting to abundance, discovering within yourself what true abundance means for you, and then actualizing that in your life. She is also a goddess of creation, so she can support you with bringing forth the seeds of dreams and wishes so they can be manifest and come true. She'll help you with the why, the how, and the when. So here are my top 3 tips for connecting to her. My first tip is to truly connect to truly connect with the idea of abundance and the word abundance. So what does it really mean? Well, it actually just means to have a large quantity of something. So ops invites you, when you're coming to ideas and thoughts of abundance, to actually get really specific and clear about what it means. So if you ever said to yourself, oh, I love to be abundant, or perhaps you said an affirmation or invocation, I want to be abundant. She wants you to get specific about that, because abundance could mean an abundance of locusts. So when you say, I want abundance, you could end up having an abundance of rain or an abundance of sweets. It could mean anything. So what do you actually want? So with her, get really clear on what abundance means to you. So for example, say you want to be abundantly wealthy. Is it, money that you're looking at? How much do you want? When do you want it? How do you want it to come to you? It might mean you working a full-time job. Maybe if you don't want to do a job, maybe you need some kind of extra side work that is fun for you. Getting really clear about that. Think about abundance as like an ice cream. Say you go to an ice cream van and you ask the guy that's selling them, well, I'd like something at some point. He's going to look at you like, I don't know what to give you. The universe is the same. So the ice cream man might give you an ice cream that's not even one you like. So if you can say to him, I want that ice cream and I'd really like it now, then it's getting really clear about what you want. So this may kind of, with her, maybe thinking about the words that you use. And when you say these invocations or these prayers or these affirmations, just getting very specific. My second tip is actually an activity, which is about kind of being grateful for what you do have and the abundance that is already true in your life. So this is kind of like a meditation, and this is something you can do around harvest, because she is a harvest goddess. She's connected and got festivals in both August and in December, when the crops were reaped and when they were sown. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a bowl of grain. Barley, wheat, rye, doesn't really matter if you don't have things like that. Even your cereal, even have a bowl of Kellogg's. Whatever you have. Okay, you're going to get 2 bowls. One's going to be full and one's going to be empty. You're going to take 1 piece of grain. With each one, you're going to close your eyes. You're going to take a deep breath. Maybe hold it next to your heart or your belly. And each one is going to represent something that is an abundance in your life already. You're going to take that breath and close your eyes to really come attuned to that, so you can hear it, see it, and recognize it. And then as you write it down on a journal, or a piece of paper with a pen, you're going to put that grain into the empty bowl. You're going to do this with every single grain in there. So hopefully there will be, 50, 100 grains in there, which really represents how much the abundance there is in your life. And there truly is. So here are some examples. I have the love of family. I have a safe home. I have food in my fridge. I have a job, or I have the ability to get a job. I am alive. I am healthy. These are all things that are abundance. So often we think about it just as money, as this idea, so money is an energy like anything else. It can represent abundance, but it's only one of thousands of different abundances. So keep on going with those grains until you've got all of them in that new bowl. In that bowl, they have been sanctified, they've been recognized, and they're holding the energy of all those things that you have as abundance in your life. Even if it's, for me, it's like I have 1,000 books. And for me, that's abundance because they're access to knowledge. And I think that is one of the greatest abundances we can have. With those grains, you are going to either offer them back to the earth in gratitude as thanks, or you can put them onto your harvest altar as a reminder, over the coming month or months, if you're going through the full portal of the 3 months, or you can burn them as offerings. So offering them back to Ops and say thank you, not to give them away, of course, but to say thank you. That's why we're offering them. Which leads me on to my third tip, which is all about offerings that you can make to Ops. So in the past, they would have made sacrifices. The ancient Romans made sacrifices to Ops in order, very specifically, the abundance they wanted was to have a good harvest, to have healthy grain. So think about the thing that you really want, the abundance you really want, and you're going to make offerings to Ops. Now, these Ops, of course, as I try to share, is modern things, modern ways that you can connect to these deities. So what you're going to offer is parts or a percentage, a portion of your abundance. So say if you earn a lot of money, you have a lot of physical wealth, money, income, consider offering maybe like 10%, of your monthly income to a charity or a fund. If your abundance is that you have lots of fruit in your garden this year, maybe else got loads of plums in their garden everywhere, consider turning them into jam and giving them to your neighbours and your friends. Maybe you're like me and you have lots of books. This might feel like a very terrifying thought, but maybe you could give one of them away. No, can't do it. Maybe you could lend it to someone. Things like that, and giving back as an act of devotion. Often I think, the best things that we can give is just giving what we do have, so giving that portion away and being really clear again about what your abundance is. So of course, if you're not earning a lot of money, you don't have a lot of physical wealth income, coming into your bank account, of course, don't give away to charity as a donation because you can't afford to do that. When you've built that wealth, then you can give back as an incentive to build that wealth so you can play your part, but give a little bit of back of what you do have as abundance. So say your abundance is your singing voice. That is your gift. You have an abundance of the beauty of your voice. Perhaps you may consider going and singing once a month at a nursing home. That would be your offering to Ops. So have a think about that. Maybe you can share down below in the comments, what you think you may do. Maybe it's an intention. You may want to state and share what your abundance is to celebrate it and affirm it. So do share them down below in the comments. If you have any questions or want me to elaborate on anything further, again, please do let me know. I do also have a free harvest meditation here on YouTube, and I'm going to link that down below for you as well. So you can enjoy that now to connect to this grain harvest, the first of the 3 harvests. And if you want to know more about Ops, then I have a book all about the Roman gods, goddesses, temples, festivals, priests and priestesses called Pantheon the Romans. So please do check out that book and all my other books. I'm a best-selling author. I'm looking forward to supporting you more and guiding you more in your connection to self and to the divine. So I hope this has supported and inspired you, and sending you much love for a bountiful harvest and greater abundance. Many blessings.